la fine dell'inizio. Visto l'altissimo rischio di guerra nucleare, Nikita Khrushchev decide di fare un passo indietro, a patto che Kennedy rimuova quei fottuti missili dalla Turchia e che lasci in pace Cuba. Kennedy non ne accetta. Sei e URSS di comune accordo quindi firmano il trattato sulla messa al bando parziale, e sottolineiamo parziale, delle armi e degli esperimenti nucleari. La situazione sembra essersi assestata se non fosse per l'omicidio di Kennedy il 22 novembre 1963. L'assassino è Lee Harvey Oswald, ucciso da un barista fanatico di Kennedy 2 giorni dopo. Le teorie di complotto sull'omicidio dell'amato presidente portano il terrore del comunismo nuovamente nelle case degli americani.
The winner of this race will take this. It's a $100 bill. Before I say go, I'm going to make a couple statements. If those statements apply to you, I want you to take 2 steps forward. If those statements don't apply to you, I want you to stay right where you're at. Take 2 steps forward if both of your parents are still married. Take 2 steps forward if you grew up with a father figure in the home. Take 2 steps forward if you had access to a private education. Take 2 steps forward if you had access to a free tutor growing up. Take 2 steps forward if you've never had to worry about your cell phone being shut off. Take 2 steps forward if you've never had to help mom or dad with the bills. Take 2 steps forward if it wasn't because of your athletic ability, you don't have to pay for college. Take 2 steps forward if you never wondered where your next meal was going to come from. I want you guys up here in the front just to turn around and look. Every statement I've made has nothing to do with anything any of you have done. Has nothing to do with decisions you've made. Everything I have said has nothing to do with what you've done. We all know these people up here have a better opportunity to win this $100. Does that mean these people back here can't race? No. We would be foolish to not realize we've been given more opportunity. We don't want to recognize that we've been given a head start. But the reality is we have. Now, there's no excuse. They still got to run their race. You still got to run your race. But whoever wins this $100, I think it'd be extremely foolish of you not to utilize that and learn more about somebody else's story. Because the reality is, if this was a fair race and everybody was back on that line, I guarantee you some of these black dudes would smoke all of you. And it's only because you have this big of a head start that you're possibly going to win this race called life. That is a picture of life, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing you've done has put you in the lead that you're in right now. When I say go, on your mark, get set, go! If you didn't learn anything from this activity, you're a fool.
Seems like a pretty good thing. Is globalization beneficial to everyone? What is the true cost of achieving that lower price point? Sourcing cheaper labor often results in hiring overseas workers that migrate thousands of miles in search of employment, like the many who migrate to Shenzhen, China, to work for the Taiwanese-owned technology company Foxconn. These deprived workers struggle to feed their families and have difficulty obtaining adequate healthcare because they pull in less than a living wage, earning as low as an equivalent of $1.78 US an hour. Foxconn is frequently in the spotlight for their unethical factory conditions and strenuous work hours, and their unbearable working conditions resulted in 14 workers committing suicide in 2010. Similar work conditions have been documented in mineral mines around the world. The quest to obtain minerals has not only contributed to harsh mining conditions and increasing environmental degradation, but has also supported the funding of the ongoing civil war in the Democratic Republic of Congo through the illegal mining and selling of conflict minerals to technology companies around the world. As technology allows us to connect with one another on a global scale, this awareness has mobilized individuals around the world to campaign against these injustices, encouraging companies to become more transparent and share information about their products' origins. These companies are taking action by mandating safer work conditions, enforcing fines for incompliant suppliers, and even threatening to move businesses.
Social sciences is about understanding the world.
We're investigating questions of huge importance to the way people live their everyday lives.
Once we get understanding, then we can make recommendations, think about how things might change, how they might be better.
The way in which we organise our everyday life, that leaves a very large ecological footprint. The way we currently use resources in order to sustain our social life has to change.
I was drawn into academia by my concern over the poverty of older people, how we should design age-friendly cities, how older people should be involved in their own communities.
Our focus is on human behaviour when it comes to the political world. We took over the British election study at a time when British elections and British politics became very volatile and extremely busy.
The thing that really concerns me is the question of inequality. How and why the pattern of ethnic inequalities have changed or persisted over time.
We want to understand how young people encounter radicalisation messages in their everyday lives and themselves resist them, because they can teach us something then about how to withstand these challenges that face us all.
I think what's really special about Manchester is the large number of disciplines that we have here. You know, the best minds working on this topic together from different disciplinary perspectives.
We want to understand the world as other people see it.
If we didn't have an election study, we wouldn't know how democracy is functioning.
It's impossible to predict the future, but probably the best guess about how tomorrow's going to be is how it was yesterday.
We understand what's happening, we show the consequences of it, we predict the ways it might happen in the future, and we show the truth to power.
But they don't necessarily appreciate how important it really is. And I think you've been working on that, haven't you?
No. And actually, on the plane coming here, I mean, every time I go anywhere, people are all, I try to explain what I do. I'm a sculptor as well, and I was in a sculpture class on Tuesday. And the women around me said, well, you know, why public space and social justice? You know, what does that, why is that important? Believe it or not, the simplest question of why public space matters is both the easiest question to answer and yet at another level the very hardest. You can say to people, well, it's where our children get grown up. It's where we can get fresh air. It's where families in New York or in Latin America who live in apartments can have huge barbecues and be together. It's a place where we can run and be healthy. They're the lungs of the city. It's the connective tissue. But all of that to everyone seems like, well, you know, they take that for granted in some countries, and they're not also imagining neighborhoods in their own cities. Again, I'm going to go back to New York or even San Jose, Costa Rica, where I live. And in fact, there aren't those kinds of places for everyone, and that those are places to work, those are places to connect, those are places of dissent, those are places of communication, they're places of memory, and in fact are the fiber of social solidarity for so many communities. And without them, social life would really be
am Native American.
I'm African American.
I am Puerto Rican and Black.
I'm Indian.
I am Jamaican and Haitian.
I'm Japanese.
I am Black, Chinese, Irish, and Greek Indian.
And
this is my culture.
I think there are a lot of stereotypes.
Everyone just looked at me like I was some type of human zoo thing. Oh my gosh, who is she? Like, is she some type of witch doctor or something? She's wearing like this dark lipstick.
Oh, so do you wear footwear back home?
People ask me, how do I wash my hair? And I just look like, come on, the same way you wash your hair.
I wish the world knew that we do still exist. I wish the world knew that not all Native Americans lived in teepees. We don't still live in teepees.
You have something in your hair. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, someone put like a piece of paper in your afro.
People were telling me how much weave and hair extensions and braids and stuff like that was kind of hood or ghetto.
Baby hairs were called ghetto or ratchet. I bumped into this blonde-haired girl and she had her baby hair, and it was just so cool that everyone's embracing the culture now.
Japanese culture is actually so creative. This is why we have so many different original makeup style, including this.
When I see people wearing Native American accessories and they don't know the meaning of it, I feel disrespected.
We have to understand that it's not an accessory, you know? It's not something that we put on our arms and walk around with because it's just beautiful. It is literally us.
It doesn't just fall off an eagle and, oh, here, it's yours, I found it. You have to earn it.
It shows what a beautiful country and culture you come from.
I see it as a way to attach myself back to my roots.
Being comfortable in your skin and not caring about what other people say.
Being Afro-Latina, you have a lot of hair. So when I was growing up, I was always embarrassed of my sideburns, my mustache, my eyebrows.
I found it very difficult to be myself because I was comparing myself to others who had straight hair.
Straightening my hair and putting all these chemicals in it, so I decided to go natural.
Because I want to be different. I don't want to be like anybody else.
Embracing my heritage was embracing all the hair on my body, from the hair on my head to the hair on my toes.
I feel more connected to my ethnicity with this feather.
And I feel really proud because I represent my home, my culture.
And now it's my identity and my culture.
I wouldn't change that about myself, and I hope anyone else wouldn't change that about themselves, even if they don't have an afro. Whatever grows out of their scalps or whatever skin color they are, you know, just be beautiful whoever you are.
And I think that's something that all young girls should do, embrace their beauty.